Today, we'll be covering the book Knowing Doing Gap by Pfeiffer and Sutton. Closing the Gap is what this book is about, and I will be giving you a summary of it, some actions you can take, and perhaps a critique as well. The poet Von Goethe said something interesting. He said, "Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do." I've often sat in a class or in a session and somebody has said, I know that. Really? You know that? And how much of it is coming out of your hand? And the disconnection between what you know in your head and what comes out of your hand could be quite different. And that is a gap we want to address. So Pfeiffer and Sutton make this comment in their book. If you know by doing, there's no gap between what you know and what you do. So the way we learn is critical. It's not important to have just head knowledge, but it is important to actually try that out and know how to do the thing that's been learned at that moment. Knowing how is not the problem. We know so many things, like losing weight, for example. A problem is not knowing how. You really want to do it? You'll figure it out just by doing it. And the problem is that we're not committed enough to do what it takes every single day. And I'm not talking about short bursts of inspired energy. In the movie, Captain Jack Sparrow makes this comment. He says, the problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem. Do you understand? And that's something to think about. So the issue really is one of commitment. At the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you. Another one Goethe quote for you. And it's really not about some universe conspiring out there. It's really about what happens inside of you when you choose and when you make a commitment and a firm decision to make something happen. So why the gap? Let's look at the 5 reasons. Our culture has valued talk over action. Memory has substituted for action. We have done this in the past and that kind of thing, somewhere behind us. The third one is that fear prevents action. And fourth, measurement obstructs good judgment. Sometimes we're just measuring the wrong thing. And number 5, internal competition. We're going to sort of have a deeper dive into these 5. Talk, the first one. You've heard that quote, talk is cheap. Yeah, talk makes you look clever. And our education system is actually oriented towards talk. There are seminars, there are white papers. There's no need to act and actually produce a result. And so we end up talking rather than acting and doing the thing that's right in front of us. Second one, memory. It's precedence of the past. That's the way we've done it before. You've heard of standard operating procedures, right? Written down stuff, written procedures, practices, etc. And so there's a pressure to be consistent with what we did last year, the year before that, and 10 years before that, maybe. And past success actually makes it harder for change to take place. And we know one of the big things that when you want to transform your company, when you want to transform yourself, that the past can actually get in the way. The third one is fear. Fear of not belonging to the group, fear of being different. And, are you really saying I can challenge the management? No, we don't mean that in an aggressive and a negative way, but in a spirit of contribution. It's about saying, I hear what you say, but I have a point of view that I'd like to add to the mix. And you respectfully submit that, and not so much as getting mad about the point that somebody else has got a different viewpoint. And so there's this fear also that comes from the knowledge, will I be punished because I'm doing something different? And the biggie behind this, what if we fail? Fourth, measurement. Sutton makes this point in their book that many measurements are flawed, and I agree with that, because what really counts can't be measured, like being detailed, being diligent with your work, or having passion for your client. They can't be measured, and so it ends up as a guesstimate. True, that is true. But I wouldn't go so far as saying measurement gets in the way all the time. You do need to measure, and you do need to evaluate what is being done, and some of the soft factors. I mean, find a different way to take that into account. Number five, internal competition. When the competition is out there, it drives innovation. When it's in here, inside the company, the opposite starts happening. And individuals become more important than the team, and the individual rewards discourage teamwork. So people resist helping each other, and that reduces knowledge sharing. The key thing to get is that the enemy is not in here, the enemy is out there. And together we need to take that on and to build something of fantastic value. Five traps. I want to talk about these traps that get in the way. Just listen to it and see which one resonates with you. And if any one of this is true in your situation, you want to be really wary and you look at those sharp teeth out there waiting to get your leg. You might want to think about it again. First one, expecting an internal committee to transform the culture. This one should make you laugh. The second one is hiring a service excellence coordinator. What were people thinking? It's not going to work like that. Thinking more knowledge will close the gap. We've always thought that, I'll do it when I get more knowledge. No, you won't do it when you get more knowledge. You'll do it when you get more courage. You'll do it when you get more gumption. That's when you'll do it to close the gap. Number four, letting assessment substitute for action. So the purpose of assessment is to propel you into action, not to sit down in that hole and say, oh my goodness, this doesn't work, but actually to choose to say, this is the place I want to take action on, and I'm going to commit myself to do that. And number five is permitting leaders, managers, and ourselves to stall indefinitely by asking, but how? Peter Block, in his outstanding book, The Answer to How is Yes, makes this biting comment. Asking how is a favorite defense against taking action. We've been there before. When you want to create a result that hasn't been achieved before, when you want to create something new, asking how is a stalling. And that's not what you do. Taking the first step is important. And making it up as you move forward, not trying to have the whole blueprint laid out, but having the boldness and the courage that you need to move things forward. So how may we overcome the gap? First is to reward action, not discussion. Second, trust your people. People can do a way more when they know that you are behind them. You willing to take the rap along with them. They will do a lot more for you. Third is coach and mentor the gap. What are the things that they are struggling with? And as a leader, model the behavior. How are you overcoming your own gaps? And are you taking responsibility for it? And number five, remove internal competition. And a good one is make a global fund available to the team, not for individuals alone. And sometimes those kind of things make a huge difference to be able to move the ball forward. So some questions to think about. First question, what do I know but I'm not doing with rigor? And you may want to apply this to a personal area in your life, or you may want to take this in something in your business that you're not doing with rigor. Question two, what about things that I don't know how to measure? How do I take care of when people exhibit passion or energy or truthfulness? Or what about this one? Teachability. Number three, am I removing obstacles in front of my team? Do I even measure that? How many obstacles have I removed in front of my team? And number four, am I allowing people and myself to stall by asking how? So some questions to think about to spur our thinking and not get stuck in the old paradigm of, I know that. No, you may know that in your head. Question is, what's coming out of your hand? So finally, here's where we end off. And so the question is that we have this gap, And our challenge is how may I improve my doing percentage. This is Bert signing off, and I hope you've enjoyed this video book. We're going to be coming with several more shortly for you. Have a fantastic day.